Hey YouTubers and gamers, I am CyberSnake7 and yes, this is episode 3 of my Japanese PS2 fighting games collection. This episode I've got another 13 games to show you from the likes of Capcom, Sega, Namco, Temco and so forth. So let's crack on and give you a game that I totally missed out the SNK Playmore collection, which is this one, which is Samurai Spirits Zero. Great artwork on the front cover, and particularly on the back also, very good artwork. The inside, not so bad. Good picture disc for the disc and a nice artwork for the manual. Now the disappointing part. The game itself is good, but the thing that lets it down the most is the long loading times in between each fight and each cutscene. Apart from that, the game itself is just a typical Samurai Spirits game. Particularly, realistically, not the best in the series as far as I'm concerned. But not bad, worthy of a purchase. But personally, I'd stick with the SNK Playmore Samurai Spirits collection and get them all together rather than get this singular, because the loading times do let it down. But in all, not a bad fighter. But that is Samurai Spirits Zero. Now, the next fighting game series I love because they've got great female fighting characters and the body physics says everything, and it is this one, Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore Edition. Ain't seen too many of these covers around, that's why I purchased this one. I do like the Dead or Alive series, as I say, specifically for the female fighters in this one. But the game itself, graphically, always are very good games. But looking forward to Dead or Alive 5 next week if anybody's getting that one. That should be an interesting fighter. But yeah, this one itself, great gameplay, great graphics as per usual, great character selection, can't go wrong. This one is for really beginner fighters. It's a good learning tool for combos and basically getting some kick-ass moves out of it. But great game overall, and that is Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore Edition. This one is from a series of games I've bought on numerous systems, but this is by far the one that sticks out for me the most. This was the latest in its series, and it is Hokuto no Ken. Brilliant game. Massive, colourful sprites, brilliant animation, fantastic backdrops, steep learning curve in combos and connecting them combos, because it is a tough cookie to master them combos, but game overall, absolutely superb. Anybody familiar with the series will recognise all characters from the game and the anime series. You can't go wrong with this game. You get 2 discs this time round, the main disc, and you also get a master's disc which gives you tips on how to perform great combos and also how to play the game a whole lot better. But in all, top game, fantastic, worthy of anybody's money, and this is going to be in my compilation video, so check it out. So that's Hokuto no Ken. Now a couple of Namco games. Obviously, recently the second one has just appeared on our shelves for the PS3 and Xbox, but we're talking about the original, which is Tekken Tag. I bought this from the very day it come out from Japan. Fantastic version of the game. Obviously, the only thing that lets us down is probably the bosses in these games, because I've heard the boss in the second one isn't much cop, as is this one. It's not a great boss, but nevertheless, still a great fighting Tekken game. Got all your usual suspects in there, some great combos you can pull off, and the disc and the artwork for the book on this one is particularly good. I do like this. But as I say, typical Tekken. Fantastic game. Looking forward to playing the second one, which I have not got yet, which I'm being lazy. But there you go. That is Tekken Tag, the original Tekken Tag. Moving on to more Tekken. This Tekken to me is probably my favourite in the series, as number 6 actually let it down big time. And I'm talking about this one, which is Tekken 5. Tekken 5 by far for me is easily probably the best version of the game to date. Not including the tag games, just single games in the series. Graphically brilliant, dynamics of the game, you know, everything about the game. It's just pure. It's just great. It's just a fantastic fighting game. Number 4 weren't too bad, but I think number 4 was good, but then they improved with what they had on Tekken 4 and Tekken 5. Fantastic characters, brilliant graphics, great fighting system, and thankfully they brought this one out because number 6, terrible game, absolutely sucks. But this is my choice, best Tekken so far. That's Tekken 5. Now moving on to a series of games I've never really been able to get myself into, and it is the Guilty Gear series, and this one is the Midnight Carnival. Good artwork on the front cover, I've got to say that, very creepy. Not so great on the back, but the game itself, it's not a bad game graphically. I mean, look at the artwork for the covers and the disc are very, very good, but the game is graphically brilliant. Massive sprites, great backdrops, colourful, very, very colourful game. But I find this is one of those mid-paced fighting games. A lot of close combat combo systems in there, and as I say, it's good, but it's just a bit slow paced for me. I prefer my games slightly faster. But overall, not absolutely dissing the series, because it is a very good fighting game series, but not to my taste. But still a very good game anyway. But that's Guilty Gear XX, the Midnight Carnival. Now moving on to some Sega goodness, and these two, it was 13, but I'm just going to show them as together because they are basically the same game. These two, I bought one which I got free with the game, and then I found another version because it had a different cover, which is basically the first one I'm going to show you is the 10th anniversary edition of Virtua Fighter. This is the Jackie edition. I got this free with another game. I'll show you this one first. There's the front cover, and there's your back with his back as per usual. Not the greatest of artwork for the booklet and the disc, but nevertheless. But it's just the 10th anniversary edition of the game. A good conversion straight to the PS2. But I found this one, and then I also bought this one, which is the Akira edition. This one's sealed, exactly the same, but just different characters on the front. Now, I haven't never come across any more, and it makes me wonder, did they actually do a number of these titles with all different characters on the front cover? Be interesting to find out. But pick these two up. Great game, classic Virtua Fighter, you can't go wrong. But there you go, that's Virtua Fighter 10th anniversary editions. More Virtua Fighter. Up to now, obviously you've recently had Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown. That is a great game, but until then, this one stole the show for me, which was the Virtua Fighter 4. Obviously, graphics was improved, more characters was added. Just top game, absolutely top Virtua Fighter game this was. Easily one of my favourites of the series so far, up until obviously now the Final Showdown, which has topped the bill for me. Shame it didn't come out as a disc release, because I would have loved it as a disc release. But there you go, fantastic artwork for the manual and the disc. Can't go wrong there. But yeah, absolutely brilliant game. Can't go wrong with that. That is Virtua Fighter 4. Then they decided to bring out another one, Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, with 2 new characters. Personally, I don't think the characters are that great, to be honest with you. And realistically, it was just money spinning. They could have just waited and not bothered with this one, and added these characters into Virtua Fighter for the PS3 if they wanted. But they didn't, and they brought this one out. But good artwork on the case and the obviously manual and disc. But in all, still a very good Virtua Fighter game. Nevertheless, would not take it away from the game because Virtua Fighters are very good games, good graphics, good gameplay. Lots to do in this one. Story mode, adventure mode, and things like that, and obviously arcade mode. Tons and tons to learn and master. Can't go wrong. But there you go, that is Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution. Now moving on to 3 Capcom titles. Now this one is a peculiar one. These are specific group of Capcom titles bunged together in one not bad fighting game actually, and it is Capcom Fighting Jam. Obviously Darkstalkers, Street Fighter Zero characters, and you've also got that guy at the back of Tiger God. I'm sure it's like Wizard the Wizard game or something like that. I ain't got a clue. Never ever heard of the fighters up until this game. But colourful, big, massive sprites, great gameplay, Street Fighter-esque, and you've got obviously with the extra different characters with weapon-based gameplay. It does mix and match quite well, and it does work. But as I say, great game. Shame they never made a sequel in any sense of the word, because it is a very good fighting game. But as I say, very Street Fighter, but nice mishmash of Capcom characters to boot. But there you go, that is Capcom Fighting Jam. Then we have another collection. I got these on the PS2, no, sorry, PS1. This original collection, and I got a couple on the Dreamcast, but obviously I bought it on the Japanese release as well. This is the Street Fighter Zero collection. You have on here Street Fighter Zero 1, Street Fighter Zero 2, Street Fighter Zero Enhanced Edition, and Street Fighter Zero 3, and Pocket Fighters, which is not a bad game at all. All classic Street Fighter titles, and possibly Street Fighter fans' favourites. Personally, I'd choose these over Street Fighter 4 any day. Prefer the 2D fighting system over the 3D/2D. I just don't like the way it works. But you just got to live and learn with it. Street Fighter's now moved on, but I'd still love the old Street Fighter. You can't go wrong. But great game, great artwork on the rear and front cover. And yet again, fantastic artwork on the disc and the manual, as you can see. Game itself, top notch, worthy of a purchase, because obviously you got all the Street Fighter Zero collection on there, and you ain't going to go wrong by not. If you haven't got them, this is the way to go. Absolutely fantastic game. So that's the Street Fighter Zero collection. And now onto the final game of this video, and the final game from Capcom. Originally bought the first two on the PS1, and they were quite good games, so I had to get the third one on the PS2, which was this one, which is Street Fighter EX3. This one was a little bit of a disappointment. It's not a bad game graphically, it's not great. It's more of the same typical EX. It's basically your first kind of 3D version of Street Fighter, if you want to call it that. You got some very odd characters in there. Some good combo systems though, and obviously it is not a bad game, but personally not my favourite in the series. I think the first one stuck out for me as being the best in the series. But yeah, overall, very good game. Not the best in the series, but glad to have, so it's finished off my EX collection. But there you have it. That is my final PS2 Japanese fighting game in my collection up to date. Anything in the future I'll obviously put in a new pickups video that I get in the future. But I just want to say, hope you enjoyed what you've seen. Thanks for watching. Please do leave some good comments in the box, would be appreciated. And please do subscribe if you're interested and you do like my channel. But as always, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, keep watching. Enjoy the compilation video, guys.